Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and this is Shang-Chi casually destroying Proxima Midnight at stage 99 without a obelisk or custom gear at all. We're gonna pop our tier 3 here, and we're going to go into Berserker mode. We're gonna refresh this, we're gonna do this, and as you can see, he's awesome. Really cool character. But let me just quickly heal up for 60% here before we do a little bit of this and go back into this. But believe it or not, you can actually play Shang-Chi a lot better than this, and he can actually be even stronger, which may sound like a joke or something, but it's not. It's really not. That's actually pretty good. But we can do a lot better. But I'm showcasing him here for starters, so you guys can get an idea of what he can do, what makes him so fun, and what might actually make him a little bit frustrating to play against Proxima specifically. Boom. Because she jumps around a lot. That was 1 minute. Didn't seem to be too quick, but the damage was in these insane bursty waves, and that's because of Shang-Chi's tier 3, and this is really how the character is designed. Now, I know what you're probably wondering, how good is he at tier 2 if I just buy his uniform? He is very good at tier 2 if you just buy his uniform. He is still very formidable. You have tier 2 PvP content released by Commander earlier today, showcasing his ability to basically just spam Master's counterattack, which has a 6-second cooldown, and it has iframe ignore and a heal and a reflect. So iframe ignore plus healing plus reflect, oh yeah, plus invincibility equals certain death. So this is an amazing uniform at tier 2, and it only gets better at tier 3. So this is definitely a strongly advisable pickup. This is not like a must-have uniform, but it's pretty close to a must-have uniform, especially if you consider how weak the combat class is. And there's no doubt in my mind that Shang-Chi is now at the very top of that class, basically competing with Luke Cage in PvP, Luke Cage in Immortal Hulk, and then competing with, you know, Cull Obsidian and Maker and a couple of other characters for combat PvE prowess, you know, Venom in ABX, so on and so forth. So yeah, this is the build, pretty straightforward. I'm rank 1111, extremely auspicious number there. We've got 4-star Uru, nothing too flashy. Of course, we've got the level 25 on the gears. We've got all his skills maxed out. We've got max type enhancement, although we can't take advantage of it unless I'm fighting, what? Quicksilver world boss? Yeah, right. We got Power of Angry Hulk stage 10, no obelisk at all, no CTP, and then we've got the mythic uniform. Just to recap here for the options here, we've got Carnage Storm, Ghost Rider, King of Hell, Crossbones, and Scarlet Witch. So let's go back now, because I want to highlight what really makes this character special, and I'm gonna try to beat that 1 minute clear time, because that 1 minute clear time was pretty good, but I think we can actually go faster. Now, it's going to go pretty quickly here, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to abuse the refresh cooldown on his 5th skill, and I'm going to essentially try and get my tier 3 up as fast as possible, and then I'm going to do tier 3 into 4 for massive, insane burst damage. And you can see it works. And ta-da, there we go. We just flashed away, how many bars? I don't know, a lot of bars. It's a lot of bars just disappeared, yeah. So we're gonna do this, and we're gonna flash away there. If you know what, if I had pushed her, I think I could have just had this done and over with right there. I think he can do this in half the time, in 30 seconds, which is insane if you think about that. That I just said that he could do it in 30 seconds, but yeah, I do think he can do it in 30 seconds. Again, we're just abusing the tier 3 buff and stacking it with the 4th skill. So there you go. I just improved my speed time, my clear speed by more than 25%. My first try. Now, obviously, in the first run versus the second run, I was sort of being coy with you, and I wasn't really showing you the full power, or I don't even want to call it the full power of Shang-Chi just yet, but more power, right? I feel like he's 45, maybe 50% of the way to Ultra Instinct, but he's not quite there yet. But you can see how potent he becomes. And so the really interesting thing about him, just to recap here, is that his tier 3 skill, Tranquil Focus, has no damage, but it has a tremendous buff. 90% chain hit for 13 seconds, 80% chance to penetrate for 13 seconds, which doesn't matter in PvE, 8 seconds of invincibility, which is helpful, and then it's got a 150% damage proc. That is very, very important because that's a huge spike in damage. That's basically another CTP proc, right? Like, your CTP procs will top out at 200% for an energy or a destruction. This is 150%, so it's pretty much halfway there, right? It's between 100 and 200. You roll between 120 and 100 and 200% for your CTP procs or your extreme obelisks. We're halfway with this one. So you basically get an extra proc, or you can stack them if I had a proc. So I could theoretically give him a 200 proc, and when I activate this move, this combo of 6 cancel 4, I could stack this 180 with the 150 and have almost 350 increased damage on my next attack, which is berserk. And then I also have 90% attack increase for 13 seconds, which is not bad considering he's got 48,000 physical attack. And then I've also got ignore iframe. But yeah, basically, because his tier 3 doesn't do any damage, you have to make sure that you always follow up the tier 3 with either his 4th skill, Endless Attack, or his 5th skill, Staff of Punishment. Those 2 skills are the skills that are going to deal the most damage by far. Master's counterattack damage is okay. It's definitely good enough for PvP, especially when you factor in the reflect damage, but it doesn't have very many hits, so it's not going to take advantage of the chain hit. And then his 1st and 2nd skills just don't have very many hits at all. His 2nd skill is basically just used to close the gap to get very close to your target, and then his 1st skill is just used with the Rising Spirit passive, or sorry, with the Flowing Strikes passive to refresh Staff of Punishment. So you never want to do 6-1-5, because you would waste the proc from 6 on 1, right? Now, as far as doing 6 into 5 or 6 into 4, it's really up to you. It's really up to your own experimentation. 5 has more hits, so it's going to synergize more with chain hit, whereas the 4th skill has 100% ignore dodge, which is very, very nice because it will synergize against certain bosses like Null. The tier 3 advancement animation. Let's go. This is one of the most gorgeous animations I've ever seen for a tier 3. Yeah, let's watch that one again. Are you kidding me right now? So cool. And did you catch that at the end? His kick is a dragon's head. How dope is that? The devs really outdid themselves with the creativity here. This is amazing. 10 out of 10. I would tier 3 him again just to see that for the first time. Did you know that Shang-Chi's tier 3 skill does have stun immunity? So you will dodge the cage if you pop the tier 3. Now this rotation is going to go by very quickly, so let me repeat it before I start. I'm going to rush in and do 2, 5, 1, 5, 3. I'm basically going to cancel everything because, again, I'm just trying to... Oh, I goofed it up. Okay. I pressed 4. Not supposed to press 4. Basically, I'm just trying to build up the tier 3 before he knocks me back into those purple circles. And then I'm going to pop the tier 3, which is going to give me invincibility. And then I am going to... There we go. And then pop the 4. And you can see this crazy burst in damage. And that's basically it. Okay, we did get stunned there. We didn't use the co-op skill properly. But yeah, that's basically all you do. Pretty good. Pretty good. Am I right? There we go. Again, one more time. And you just, casually take off however many bars you're supposed to take off. Now, we are actually going to lose 10 seconds in this fight, so keep that in mind for the final time on Shang-Chi here. We're also going to wait on the 5th skill because of the fact that I can then refresh it. Oh, I made a mistake there. So what we're going to do, I didn't press 6 before I pressed... Well, this is unfortunate. So we're going to do 6-5. Which you can see also has very good damage, although it is spread out a little bit more. I prefer, against Null specifically, I prefer... Okay, I prefer 6-4. So that was actually a pretty sloppy run. Remember, I lost 10 seconds. I also goofed up the rotation midway. So he actually clears this in about a minute or less, which is extremely impressive considering I have no obelisk. However, I will, asterisk this video with 2 things. One, he's very hard to play. I'm talking to you guys and I'm explaining what I'm doing, but it's helping me to remember what I need to do because he has such a crazy playstyle. Because of the fact that the 5th skill gets refreshed, And because of the fact that the 5th skill builds up his tier 3 so much, and because of the fact that his tier 3 doesn't do any damage, so you have to follow up 6 with 5 or 4, you need to make sure that when you're ready to press 6, that either 5 or 4 is ready to be pressed right after. If you do something like this, and some people have suggested, Alex, why don't you just go 5, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6? Well, because then everything's on cooldown. And now I can't do anything. And if I try to press 1 to refresh 5, I'm going to lose my proc. And that's a 150% proc. So you really have to juggle so many different things with Shang-Chi. You have to juggle building up his tier 3 as fast as you can, because this buff is just too good to ignore. But you also have to make sure that you are pressing 1 enough to get as many refreshes of 5 as you can, because it does have a 9-second cooldown. But then you also have to make sure that at least one of these 2 skills, either Staff of Punishment or Endless Attack, is off cooldown when you are ready to do 6. Because if they're both on cooldown, then you're either going to stand there waiting to do 6, or you're going to do 6 and then waste a bunch of the time on the buff with nothing happening. Now I want to try something a little bit harder here. We're going to go up to stage 14. I'm going to keep basically the same team. I don't want to give him any support buffs at all. So we're just going to bring in Dr. Octopus. We're going to stay with 1 striker here. That's fine. And I'm going to see. I'm pretty sure he can solo this stage. I'm pretty sure he can solo this stage with a lot of time remaining. So with a decent amount of time remaining. So let's get it. So 2, 5, 1, 5, 3, 6, 4. Awesome. I'm gonna do this, and I think now when we refresh, if you press 1 when the 5 has about an 8-second cooldown left, I believe you will get it to go. We're gonna do this, and then get juicy bars going here. Okay. Okay, we gotta wait a little bit. No, we didn't wait long enough. Pop that, nice. Okay. I was hoping, yeah. Oh, I did end up pressing the co-op skill, but I was still stunned. Okay, interesting. That was a mistake there I just made. That was definitely a mistake because the 5 had... I got stunned, that was kind of annoying. The 5 had a 3-second cooldown. Okay, I didn't press the 3 fast enough. I'm gonna hold the 3 here to heal. The other thing I see people suggesting me to do is to cancel 4 into 5, so you still get the ignore dodge. You definitely don't want to do that. You don't want to do that because 4 does a lot of damage. See that? Okay, so that was a little slow, to be honest with you. We're gonna have to pick up the pace in the rest of the fight in order to clear this. That was a little bit slower than I wanted it to be, but the nice thing here is we have a really nice start. And if you... Oh, see, I messed up there again. I did 1 into 5. But the Forge does so much damage, it's crazy. And the really cool thing is, even if Null... Oh, he's a bit slow. Even if Null iframes, you have the iframe ignore buff on 6. So there was better. You want to follow in 5 into 1, back into 5. So we're going to quickly get the 1 off so we can refresh the 5. So we can actually set ourselves up here with another 6-4 combo. And it's just an easy 3 bars of damage. And the nice thing too is his first skill has a really short... it's like just a really short animation, so you can use it to interrupt your other skills if you know that you're about to take a bunch of damage. See, I can just zip out of that. Okay. That was cool. That was really cool. Okay, I'm liking it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not really giving you the best commentary right now because I'm really focused. It's really hard to play Shang-Chi well consistently. You have to be constantly thinking. I'm looking at the timers. I'm looking at the skills. I'm looking at how much gauge I have. But it's really fun. It's really fun when you get it down. It's sort of like Dance Dance Revolution, right? If you've ever seen someone playing that. Just does so much damage. Just a hilarious amount of damage. If you've ever seen someone play Dance Dance Revolution, or if you've ever tried to play it yourself, you know that it takes an extreme amount of focus. Okay, I shouldn't have pressed 4 there. That was a mistake, because now I want to do 6-4, and I can't because of the cooldown. But what I can do is I can do 6-5. Okay, the damage was not there. I'm a little bit worried about that. I think he removed my buffs or something. I'm not exactly sure what happened. We're gonna refresh there and go back again and start this over. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I would have much rather have done that. Gonna refresh again. We're gonna run out of time. This is hilarious. Oh! Yes! No obelisk, 4-star Uru, no insight buff, no support buffs, 1 striker, and that's all Shang-Chi needs, baby. And I could do that faster. 14 seconds. I could definitely do that faster. We goofed up in the first 2 minutes of the fight, getting him out of the chair. It usually takes me about 90 seconds, so I lost about 30 seconds there. And then at the end, for the final 7 bars, I didn't have the 6-4 combo, and I tried the 6-5 combo. I don't know what happens. I'm gonna have to go and check the replay because he did like no damage, right? But yeah, I think 6-4, I think we sort of settled the case here. Especially if you're fighting Null, 6 cancel 4 is definitely the way to go for Shang-Chi. So all that being said, right, all of the amazing gameplay you've seen and the really intricate dance that you need to do, and it's almost like a dance. It really feels like a dance with your fingers and the buttons. There are a lot of pros to this character. I'll try to list them now. Extremely high damage, extremely satisfying combo, extremely unique character. There's literally no other character in the game who has a buff like this. Not only the numbers, but the fact that his tier 3 doesn't have any damage, right? So that's extremely unique. One of the coolest looking characters as far as animation goes, because you see all this flash, but it's also very subdued in the sense that you're still seeing the punches and kicks as they fly. He also has range in the sense that he can do like long range, short range, and he can close the gap. There's movement type skills, so it's not just one type of skill. Basically has all of the skill effects: accumulation, healing, reflect, iframe, ignore, dodge. He's got it all. He's very good for PvE. He's very good for PvP. He's got good abilities as well to help carry you through content. He's also a human hero, which is going to help you through a bunch of the World Boss Legend restrictions. So he's got a ton of pros, and it's a huge glow up. What are the cons? Oh, and he's a cheap tier 3, right? He's a regular cost 800 CCF tier 3, competing with Cull Obsidian, competing with, these much more expensive characters, right? Okay, so what are the cons? Obviously, the biggest con, can't really hide it. Very, very high bar of entry to play well. You can play Shang-Chi and you can just press the buttons, but if you really want to make the most out of this character and feel like you're really getting your value, you're going to have to learn how to play him. You're going to have to learn how to play around Tranquil Focus, and you're going to have to adopt this playstyle that is very unique. And it's going to be really difficult to sort of impart the information or transmit the information to other people, because when you explain the rotation to them, they'll be like, wait, what do I do? Because it's not really clear. So it's kind of like Luna Snow. You're like, yeah, you got to do 5 and 4, but you also have to do 1, 2, 3, but you should do 2, 1, 3 because of the refreshes, because 3 refreshes 1 and 1 refreshes 2, but 2 doesn't refresh 3. So it's confusing, right? You sort of have to learn it on your own. The other downside, the other con to Shang-Chi is I'm not sure how good he's going to be with an obelisk. Not because he doesn't have a skill combo that you can proc on, like 6 cancel 5 or 6 cancel 4, but because I'm not really sure, given how hectic it is to play him, if I'll be able to bring in one more thing, right? Like, you're stacking all of these things that you need to do for the character to succeed, and now on top of that, I have to stack trying to proc on a 7-second timer. I'm not 100% sure he can do that. I would love to say that he's very proc friendly, because nobody is frothing at the mouth more than I am for 120% chain hit. Yeah, 30% from your CTP of energy and 90% from the buff, right? Oh, we've never seen a character with over 100% chain hit. And you can go even higher when White Fox gets your tier 3. You can go even higher. Okay, but we've never seen that before. But I really hesitate to say that he's going to be even... I don't even know if he's going to be... if you can do it. I don't even know if you'll be able to do it with an Obelisk or a CTP of Energy or a CTP of Destruction. He may only really work with a Rage because of the fact that the rotation is just so strange. There may be, you know, the door is never closed, right? There's always players out there who exceed my expectations, or who do the impossible and they figure out an amazing rotation for a character that works and synergizes with an Obelisk or a CTP of, like, a regular CTP of Energy. I agree and disagree with them on, you know, how effective it is versus the pain and the restart suffering of having to close and try again with Vision and Iron Fist, etc. But maybe it'll be possible for Shang-Chi. But regardless of whether he's a Rage character or... don't give him anything. Give him a PvP build, right? Because I could literally have done that with a CTP of Authority or a Patience or a Transcendence or whatever. I could have done that with any Obelisk, for that matter. He can do it. He can do so much, and he's so damn strong and so fun to play. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of him. Oh, my bad. I forgot to do one more thing, so I'm gonna have to edit this into the beginning of the video. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.